All right. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're on World 2. Let's take it easy on the beach.
Who's this guy?
So that's Vitazo. He's a little like.
Oh, right. I know this guy. And then
Yeah,
also
he's
joining
kinda
us is hello, it's Dan. Who's Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
We're running.
Hi.
I always really liked the aesthetic of this level, like with the barrels in the background. Look at that one.
Barrels look like hills.
They're not hills.
No, but they're like
barrels.
the replacement for hills.
Yeah. Of course, we got a terrible joke about crabs
Good.
because this game is full of really dumb jokes like that.
There is a surprisingly large amount of venereal humor in the game, which I really wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I
from
wasn't
Bit Trip.
expecting it at all. There's a level called Bumpin' Uglies. Like, really? You can't put that in a game.
I've seen worse in games.
I mean, I have too, but this is Runner 2. I wasn't expecting it.
So you know how I've said that this game like hurts my eyes to look at?
Yeah?
And especially particularly your videos, which are not running at like a very smooth, silky 60 FPS.
I'm not uploading these in 60 frames a second, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought that was a joke about how badly he was playing.
Oh.
No, they actually do kind of hurt my eyes to like really just stare at. I found the solution. The solution is just to watch them at 50% size in Media Player Classic. So
Oh, there you go.
I'm now watching this in like little baby tiny death.
Hey, it
I
works.
thought I was dead weird, but while I was playing this, I had like terrible trouble keeping up with what was going on in Peripheral, but
Yeah.
it turns out loads of people just find this game overwhelming.
Even I
Yeah,
kind of do.
For me,
Like, I
it's
totally
just
love how this game looks, but it's
like
too much.
yeah. Well, like it's not. I couldn't watch videos of the first game either. Like when I played Runner, it was fine, but videos of it just doesn't like work for my eyes. It just hurts kind of. I don't know. I lose focus. I can't really stare at it.
Yeah. Anytime there's like a tunnel segment, I end up just kind of playing on autopilot, you know?
Like, I think you kind of get that way after a while anyway. I think like I would, after a certain point, just learned to only center on my guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not really pay attention to what was coming.
Well, and really,
Yeah.
that's kind of how you play rhythm games a lot of the time.
That's just
too.
how you play Bit Trip games, especially. Like,
Yeah.
all of them.
Well, honestly, any rhythm game, that's basically how I play it. Like,
Yeah.
DDR, I stared at the top arrows and let everything peripheral kind of do its thing. Retrograde,
Yeah.
I just stare at my ship. Like, it's just how I play rhythm games.
Because you don't have
It
time
makes me
to
feel
think
kind
about
of. It makes me feel kind of bad because so much care has obviously gone into this and some of the other ones you mentioned. You know, DDR probably not. That's just like milk drop.
I don't know,
on a loop
some
in the
DDR
background,
games
but-
have like a dancer in the background that dances.
Yeah.
You can
a
choose
dancer
them.
that dances.
Yeah, you can choose them too. It's like a playable, like a character out of like a dozen.
A lot of these levels have unique stuff in the background, but you'll never see them if you're playing because you don't have time to look back there.
Like Slenderman.
Don't talk about Slenderman.
He is in this game.
He's too spooky for me.
Yeah, I was planning on sleeping. Or whatever. Dude, are you the one who occasionally says you owe me a new keyboard, like whenever I say something spooky? Because it's the entirely wrong reaction
I know,
to...
that's why I say this. What a terrible expression. Honestly, adding the slide jump was a really good way to just completely confuse me in this damn game. Because you have to...
Pretty cool because with the really limited amount of space they had, they managed to make things infinitely more complicated and awful in a lot of
Yeah,
levels.
because like to get gold, you can't be sliding most of the time. So you have to unslide in midair. So confusing.
At this point, maybe I'm letting something slip. Do you have dance yet, or is that later on in this world?
Do I have what?
Well,
Do you have dancing yet, or is that later on?
At the
Oh,
very
yeah.
beginning of this video, a thing came up that says, "This is how you dance."
Yeah, you
But
get it.
since
right.
this
in
is
the first one.
also a repeat play, we've already had dance.
We've been dancing this whole time.
Yeah.
I know you have been dancing, but part of me feels like it's hard mode. You should really be going for score. You know.
Yeah,
You told me this was high level.
I'm
He
dancing
is
as much as
mostly
I
dancing.
can.
Oh yeah. Maybe I just don't know the robot guys dance very well, but
Well, there's a little icon that shows up in the bottom left when I dance. You'll probably see it. I'm kind of playing it safe a little bit because... Well, you know, like,
I'm not even really seeing tons of windows to dance, although I did see one there. In between some of the shots, you could have danced once.
see, right there. I got
It's kind of
two
tricky
right there.
because knowing when to dance kind of turned out to be sort of almost like gut feeling of when do you think you have one beat window.
Yeah.
You kind
Yeah.
of learn to tell exactly when that is.
I mean, you end up kind of getting it just by heart eventually, but
Well, yeah, I can already kind of start feeling it in some of these spots. Like I just
Yeah.
know. I just in my heart, I know.
and the thing is, some dances take a tiny bit less time than others.
Are you sure about that?
Are we talking frames, Nate?
Yeah, it's like on a frame level.
Oh, fantastic! I'll go get my glasses.
It's weird. It's
Oh,
not
I get
enough
it. You
to
gotta
matter.
use your frames to like look at the frames.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good joke.
it's a pretty good.
It's not exactly what I was going for, but I'll
Yeah, you
take
gotta
it.
the frames like on your eyes.
Yeah, please
Wait,
explain.
You gotta get
How many
framed for murder.
animation frames in my eyes to look at what?
Also,
Your
this is my favorite
eyes
character.
operate at like 30 FPS. I don't know how. I don't even know anything about biology. I
This
think
is
you
my
have
favorite
two of
kind
them
of
eyeballs.
scientist.
If you don't think this is the best character in this game, I don't even know what to tell you.
Okay.
It's all creepy.
Is that just
Yeah.
That's the
that not
weird,
just
like,
Runner Man?
stretchy... Huh?
that's just Runner Man?
No, yeah, it's just totally normal.
That's terrible accident runner man, isn't it?
Originally, this was just gonna be what Commander Video looked like in this game.
Honestly, see, that's kind of why I thought that was just Runner Man, because I still haven't like really played this game, and I know that that's what he looked like at one point. So
Yeah, at the very
just-
start of development, they like posted a thing on their development box saying like, "Hey, we're redoing Commander Video. He looks like this, all lanky and weird." Because of
Oh, right.
there was a lot of fan art they got from a guy that had Commander Video looking like this, and they liked the design a lot, so they kept it. But people complained, and they said, "Okay, fine, we won't use it." So they didn't.
what if they never actually intended to use that as their main Commander video, and they just posted like this goofy side costume to be like, "Yeah, this is our new one, you guys." That'd be kind of funny if they
That's
did
what I
that.
assumed it
Wouldn't
was
surprise
at the start anyway. But
I think it's a good animation.
His
though.
dance is really good. Wow.
Yeah, his dances are great. He's got like weird blue lines on him and stuff for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Also, his alt costumes are great. They're all good.
So when do we
You'll
learn
see
the
them.
double jump?
You don't, sorry.
Shame.
God, think if there was a double jump in this game, it would just break my mind.
when do we learn the downward slash? What game is this?
This is I don't know. I don't know what game this is, sorry.
Can you not use the bomb to blow up the enemies?
Oh god, I'm just thinking of all the ways this could be even more complicated now.
This is the Super Meat Boy of rhythm games.
No. No.
I like how anytime there's a successful video game, people then compare every other video game to that.
Yep.
Like, I heard people comparing They Bleed Pixels like directly to Super Meat Boy, saying like, "Oh, it's just like Super Meat Boy, except there's like some more fighting. Yeah, otherwise, it's like identical."
Totally 100% the same.
But Super Meat
That
Boy
seems to be a
has an
thing, like-
incredibly tight control scheme, and They Bleed Pixels does not really. It is
I
not.
still think that's kind of a terrible name for a game.
Maybe.
Also, look at
yeah.
that costume.
It's pretty
That seems to be a
disgusting.
thing, like specifically with Super Meat Boy, though. People just seem to love comparing things to
Not-
that. Like, what?
Not just though, because I know Dark Souls is one that gets it a lot too.
Yeah.
Please look
It
at this
seems
costume.
to more than anything be like things that are slightly weird breakout hits, though, that are like kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
Right, totally like the kinds of games
Yeah, that
you
defines
you,
it.
Yeah, because like Dark Souls, I mean, it was always a good game. Demon Souls was a great game too, but it wasn't really until it like hit Steam, especially, that it got this massive following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any game that just defines a genre, like, well, Super Meat Boy did a pretty good job of that, as much as I hate to admit it,
Why do you hate to admit it?
because I never really liked it that much.
He's lying though. Whenever it came out, he was so into it. Like,
And then afterwards, I was like, I don't really want this.
Man, since these people
I
start
burned
picking
myself
up,
out
I'm
on
done
it, is
with
the
this.
thing. Like, I really burned myself out on that game.
Well, yeah, but that's
Isn't
fine.
that
But
kind
at
of
least
the point of what you're meant to do, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's what, with these super hard platforms,
Yeah, maybe
you've
so.
really got to go at it pretty hard.
That's true. And
so
that's,
you just, I'm done with this.
that's kind of how I was with Runner at first. Then I realized it's not that hard.
He says casually as we watch a video of him acing a level.
This took me a
You're
while,
so
to be honest.
cool, Nate.
Some of these took
the-
me a while, I'm not gonna lie.
no, these are all first takes.
Yeah, all of them, 100% first takes.
Are we? Which way are we meant to be like pretending? Is this live? Are we meant to be pretending this is
Yes.
live and you're doing this live?
Yeah, this is all
Okay.
live. You gotta yell,
Okay,
like, go
you
back
better
and get
jump.
something
You
else.
better jump, Nate. Do the jumps.
Wait,
do the
we're on
dance,
a-
Nate. Do the dance and
I
jump now.
can't do any of that because I was on a high school.
I know,
show.
but I was preparing you. Okay, now do the jump dance.
Okay,
Nice,
I'm jumping,
right.
I'm ducking, I'm jumping, I'm
Yep.
jumping, I'm jumping, I'm ducking. No.
Okay, I'm
got
sliding.
this,
I'm
Nate.
the
You've
jumping,
worst,
got this.
that's the
sliding.
worst fucking thing we could do.
This is the greatest commentary
No, this
I
is
think I've ever provided.
engaging and interesting.
I'm gonna start drawing on the screen like John Madden.
Okay, now that is the best thing you could do. That is the
God,
best
that would be
possible
great.
scenario.
wouldn't it?
Can we have a video of us doing commentary over this commentary over you playing the video, and it does have us with pens shouting at us to do other things.
And it also has like an overlay in the foreground, like in the foreground of like the three of us in like seats in a theater.
Yeah. Occasionally we switch positions like one of our houses and draw lines over us like gesturing over the microphone.
I like it.
Turns out Nate's using the wrong formation, he's lying down as he's talking.
Oh. Just kicking my feet up. I'm always doing that.
Wow, you're still so good at this game. Sorry, I got confused. I thought we were alive again.
It's neat how much more complex these levels are compared to the first game, but at the
Yeah.
same time how much like less tediously daunting they appear.
Some of the later
the-
levels.
the-
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, like so there were. I think it's because like part of Runner, it almost like felt like it liked faking you out in parts. Whereas
There were
this
a few
game
spots in
at
Runner
least
that were
feels
just,
way
like,
more honest
ridiculous.
about what you're about to face.
Let's
Yeah,
check this
you
costume
can kind of style it out a bit more than you used to be able to in one.
Yeah.
And like, I think part of the thing is there are fewer levels like, Nate, you'll probably be able to help this one. You know in the first game there was, I think it was the Odyssey in
Odyssey,
World 1 that was
111.
particularly long.
Yeah.
And there was a level in the third world that was like, hey,
The
the Odyssey's
Gauntlet.
back! That's the one,
The
thank you.
Gauntlet was the
yeah.
one that
Huge
starts with
tunnel
like you
level.
have to
Yep.
jump over 3 bouncing ones, then duck under 3 bouncing
Yeah.
ones over and over.
You know, the
There were
bouncing things
fewer,
in
there were
general
fewer
was a
levels
thing
like
that,
that though.
that is not quite in this in the same way.
Yeah, that's completely true, and I like
I
that a lot.
hated those because they were based on their stupid color, and
Yeah, and if
they
you're
intentionally
colorblind,
tried to
like-
fake you out. Yeah, it was crap.
Yeah.
They were
Like everything is a lot more distinct in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The thing is, like, there's a few parts of bitch trip games where I just go like, wow, someone that's colorblind would just not be able to do this. Like, in Runner,
Well,
there's the orange
It's
and
hard to
purple things.
say. The orange and purple. It depends what kind of colour blindness you have. Because orange and purple are usually pretty okay colours for colourblind people. I think.
Yeah, that's
Like,
maybe.
most people tend to mix up. Like, is it green and red, green and blue? I
Yeah,
think it's green
and there's
red.
the thing. There's a part of Bit Trip Beat where you have to block a bunch of flashing green beats on a searing red background.
Yeah, I
And
remember
it
this.
would be completely impossible for someone who's red-green colorblind. It's hard enough if you're not.
Yeah. Although, again, there is the consideration of like saturation and luminosity to consider, but
Yeah.
then
It's all like, in a way that's already
it's
hard to
still
see
gonna
if
be really
you aren't
difficult.
colorblind. So
Yeah.
I could
Well,
imagine it being terrible.
yeah. I do actually wonder with how really vivid and overcomplicated the early games were.
Mhm.
Like how much consideration was put to what if people can't see these colours right? Was it just well, unfortunately, at some point we can't do any more?
Yeah. I mean, they weren't on a very big budget.
Yeah, well, and I kind of figure like a lot of developers, that doesn't even really cross their mind. It's just, hey, this looks cool, and this is what we want to do. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very small group. It was like 3 or 4 people back then. So,
Has it got that much bigger now? I always assumed they kind of stayed the same.
I mean, they're still a pretty small studio. I mean, they've gotten more people on as they've gotten bigger. But
Yeah, I know that they have probably like at least like eight people or something because of those videos where they were pitching ideas for Runner 2.
that's a
And they're
really
all-
good video, and I'm really
It
glad
is
they
a good
actually like
video.
brought a thing from that into this. Like, have you seen that, Dan?
No, I've not.
They
I've
had
seen some stuff of them hanging around the office,
They
but I
had
don't
a
think I've
little
seen that
goofy,
one.
essentially like a little sketch thing, where they were all standing at a whiteboard trying to like brainstorm ideas for Runner 2. And one of them, at the very end, goes up and it's like, okay, get this. And they like draws kind of video, and he puts his hand up there and does a little like hand turkey thing. Like draws a turkey, and he's like, there we go, a fucking turkey suit. And they put a fucking turkey suit in the game. That's what it's called in the game, a fucking turkey suit.
I never understood that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the whole joke behind it.
And it's a
great.
I'll
really
give
good
him
joke, though.
It is.
A good joke most people won't get, but a good joke.
But they've always been good for that. Like, they're a good studio.
I've really not seen that much of them, to be honest, but of what I've seen, like, Alex Noisy seems like a lovely egg.
I've spoken to a few people from Gaijin Games with some frequency.
Is this on that Twitter?
Yeah.
That's not really speaking to him.
It's not really like, I mean, it's not like an active discussion, but
I've spoken to a horse on Twitter.
It's not the same.
I have also
It's
talked
not.
to Soonride.
I can't decide
Name
whether that's
drops.
more offensive to, like, Alex Noisy. I'm not calling Alex Noisy a horse there, because I don't intend to.
Wow.
Well, I thought you were going to say I can't tell if that's more offensive to Soonmite or horses.
Oh, you can't offend him. He's like invincible.
It's true.
Oh,
He's very strong.
he is super tough.
I like the doghouse in the background over there.
That's not doghouse. What?
I think
like a
that's just
doghouse.
meant to be a shed.
That's for you. Like that's like essentially
There's,
a garage
there's
for
like a
boats.
doghouse
Have
floating
you never
over
been
water.
to a lake?
A garage for boats.
That's what it is.
A dock.
It's a yes. Shut up. When you think of a dock, you think of just like a pier. But... I'm deleting every bit of my internet presence because
Avast my hearties, can I park my boat in your garage? Oh, garage ho!
Sure thing, Captain Summerhome.
God, these rail segments can be a little frustrating on hard mode because
Yeah, this
I
is
absolutely
weird.
adore them just for the punching skulls.
the punching skulls are great. I love those guys, but you have a little bit of leeway on your like when you switch. You can be like right above one and hit down, and you'll swap down about just in time to pass it. But you kind of have to be careful because you'll miss gold pretty easily on these.
Yeah.
Also, you can't dance on this part, which drives me crazy.
You should really be able to do a really daring tightrope dance.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it's that kind of weirded me out coming from the original runner because the hitboxes on the punch skulls aren't square like you'd expect.
Yeah.
It has to actually collide with you, and I could not get that through my head for the longest time. It's Bit Trip. Everything has a square hitbox, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. At least I thought so.
What is this game?
This game's so strange. It doesn't feel like a Bit Trip game, and I kind of like that.
See, I don't know. I'd say it totally feels like Bit Trip. It's just really different and pretty. Hello, Uncle Pickle.
I love Uncle Dill.
Who's Uncle Pickle?
Uncle Dill's my favorite. I love this
Good, isn't he?
costume because he looks like a hillbilly, and he's got like a little piece of wheat in his mouth or something.
I think
Reminds
that's
you of
the
the
point, yeah.
Homeland.
It's great. The costume is called Cucumber Bumpkin. Uncle Dill is my favorite.
I really wasn't expecting him to like him so much.
Yeah, when I originally saw him, I was just kind of like,
Oh, he's a man who's a pickle.
But
That's
then,
charming.
then he's got a dance where he just he just looks at the camera and waves. Like, hey!
I know Nate was feeling Wet Fart Cheeseburger more than he was Uncle Dill.
Hey, Wet Fart Cheeseburger's great.
That guy is cool, although I don't want to be dissenting here, but I think the name's a bit crap.
It's a little crude.
It's a little crap, yeah.
I wouldn't say crude, I'd just say a bit, that's what you've gone with?
Like,
But
I wish
in
they
a
had-
way, it's like I would say it's like still kind of like 5 to 10% funny to me, but it's just also like the rest of that's just like, oh, come on.
the part of it that
Come
makes me laugh is that they spelled it W-H-E-T.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just the
Wet.
spelling of wet fart with like an H. It's kind of funny and how dumb it
that
is.
totally makes it fine. That means it's
Wet.
not what it sounds like.
Wet. Wet.
Wet.
It's It's horrible.
You're making me feel really uncomfortable, mate.
I'm a little sad that there's a few costumes that they were going to put in the game that they didn't end up actually using, and they're all really good ones. One was like Commander Video looking like a Twinkie. He's like all yellow.
Well, Nate, they had to take it out because it didn't hit. It was sad it died.
No. In memoriam of Twinkie. But
I was looking at R.L. Stine's Twitter today.
Oh
and
no,
he
that's the saddest thing.
Wait, he's still alive?
Yeah, of course R.L. Stine is alive. Where would he have gone?
I don't know.
You think he could possibly die?
Dimension the Goosebumps came from?
Dude, his Twitter bio is that his job is to scare children.
Look, it honestly would not surprise me if R.L. Stine was a lich. That would not surprise me.
What kind of terrible, awful at his job, low-rate lich just goes and scares children?
R.L. Stine.
Oh, good answer, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm convinced.
But he tweeted like the most depressing thing ever.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna bring that up. But okay, but I will bring that up then. On Mother's Day, he tweeted that he got up and he called his mother on Mother's Day, but she was still dead.
Christ!
And I was like, wow,
like,
dude.
what the hell? You can't just say that. But I mean, I guess if you do write really fucked up shit for children, I mean, you can get away with that, but you still shouldn't
not
do it.
even fucked
come on,
up
the
shit.
Goosebumps
Have you
book
ever
weren't
read a
fucked up.
Goosebumps book? It's like the most like unremarkable garbage. Like,
and then he drops that bombshell.
yeah, like nothing like heavy. It really happens in most Goosebumps books. It's like a scary monster, but the parents don't believe the kid, and then at the end, the kid catches the monster. And
The
the parents
moral
are
of
like,
Goosebumps is that if anything terrible happens, no one will believe you.
Dude, okay, I was watching.
That's the moral of any children's book.
It's fucked
Pretty
up.
much, yeah. I was watching, because my girlfriend and I have been watching the first season of Goosebumps on Netflix, because it's on Netflix now.
They made a TV show of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazingly terrible. And we were watching Return of the Mummy just tonight, and there's this part where like the boy, this like mummy reaches through a wall and grabs him, and he's like struggling for like a whole minute, like shouting, and like his dad or the ex, I don't know, whoever he's with, who's like, you know, his chaperone type guy, the guy who's taking care of him at that moment, just rolls his eyes and kind of walks away. And it's like, oh, you have a kid being assaulted by a mummy through a wall for an entire minute, and you think he's just joking.
You think this is a fucking game?
One of the most impressive parts about kids' TV, and I guess like kids' books in general, specifically kids' TV, is how, in every single case, the parents are completely incompetent.
No, totally. It basically it just teaches kids that you cannot trust adults at all. They will not be there for you.
Hey, you can't, am I right? And teachers, those guys suck.
It's true.
But that thing about R.L. Stine tweeting the really dark thing, it kind of makes me worry, because what if that's how he wanted the Goosebumps books to be and he was just edited down?
Yeah.
All this stuff is still in his head.
What if he just like
Maybe he's a really
fucked up
tormented
stuff?
artist.
God.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
the thing, I looked at his other tweets, and I think his mother had died within the month.
Oh, God.
But so it was really sad, but it was just
Wow, that's
like,
even more depressing. I kind of expected it to be
Yeah.
like years old.
I did too, but like, yeah, no, she had just
Oh,
died
man.
like within like a
Oh,
month
man.
of that
That
tweet.
makes me
But
feel
like,
really bad.
it does, but like that's what I mean though. Like it was such a heavy hitter, like on R.L. Stine's Twitter, where most of his tweets are like some goofy thing followed by like, are you scared, or like don't be scared.
You scared?
Are you scared is a terrible catchphrase for a horror writer.
Yeah, it is.
I just like,
The man with the axe is behind the door and he's coming for you. Are you scared?
You're on scare tactics.
Ah, no! I was hoping you
Did
wouldn't
I
say-
get you?
Like I get the feeling like at every like live book reading that he does,
You just kinda,
he finishes a page and he's like, "All right, is this getting too scary? Do you want me to stop?" And none of the kids are really like invested in it. And he's like,
They're all like,
"All right, I'll keep going."
God.
I just wanted to read. I wanted to read like all of the villains in a voice like this. And not a single child cares.
None of them.
Man, I feel like we're being really rude to the poor guy.
No,
I read the Goosebumps book when I was little, and I
He
thought they were
probably
okay.
loves his job.
No, they were totally good at being kind of dumb child horror books. I mean, they accomplished it really well.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty harmless.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, little children are easily scared.
There are only a couple where there's, like, either anyone dies or there's, like, reference to somebody who had to have died. Like, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder was about a piano teacher who, like, killed a lot of... Or rather, like, a student who killed a lot of people and, like, wanted their hands. And at the end,
God.
like, their ghosts attack him and like kill him or something. So of course all those people had to die because they're ghosts, and he had
Ghosts
to
who
like
got
play
their
a
hands
piano
cut off.
forever and die. So
This might be maybe my brain ticking over with ideas for new Goosebumps books, but in that book, did like this already sounds stupid in my head before I say it. Did a piano eat someone somehow?
no, it didn't happen.
I think I've written a new Goosebumps book.
I feel like this has happened in some horror of some kind.
Well, there
I don't
was
know what.
it could be like a sequel to Deathbed, the bed that eats.
Death Piano, the piano that eats.
Yeah, exactly.
Brother of Deathbed.
You know the tagline for Night of the Living Dummy.
No,
is
that
like,
happened in House. Yeah, somebody gets eaten by a piano in House.
I think so. You might be
Yeah.
right.
What?
In the old
Not
like,
House
70s.
with the doctor.
The 70s
Okay.
Japanese horror movie,
Yeah.
I have not seen that either.
which is a
Okay.
fucking excellent piece of film.
And also, I'll be honest, if I had seen it, I don't think I'd get it confused with the Goosebumps
Or
books.
not. Like it's legitimately like a really good piece of film.
I'm sure it is. There's a lot of Japanese horror that I've
yeah.
been told is great. But
It's
I can't.
it's really
I can't
like
do
the
that stuff.
quintessential Japanese horror movie.
What about the? I thought that was kind of The Ring. Or is that just the one everyone knows?
The Ring is the one everyone knows, but like House is the one that kind of like defined the genre of like J horror.
Oh, I love that animation when he hits the target.
And
Sorry,
his-
I
and
wanna
his
talk about the
burger
game for a
falls off.
second.
Yeah, his
Just to get away from horror.
I really like the way it works when you like when you hit something and you fly back and his head starts to separate a little bit and then falls back on.
Of course, we can't demonstrate that because you're too good and you've already moved on to the
Yeah,
next level.
it happens
What
in
costume
the.
is this for Picasso?
I think it's called Zapatos or something
Yeah, that's right.
because he's got little shoes on.
I see.
It's my favorite costume for him.
He's
got a
got
little
an
hat.
adorable little hat.
And he's got like
Yeah.
a cool color scheme, like black and white, nice design. Looks pretty cool.
Well, I saw the black and white first, and I thought that this was like supposed to be some Commander Video Picasso skin.
That'd be pretty good.
costume.
Then
That'd
you
be
realize
kinda
he's
cute.
wearing a sombrero.
Yeah.
A part of me thinks every alternate character ought to have like a really dodgy Commander Video
Exactly.
cosplay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That would be great.
Like a burger where the bun is black and the meat is white.
Like Command Girl Video just has one without her little like bow, her hair bow.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Actually, that's another thing. I really wasn't expecting to like the alternate characters so much, but especially Command Girl Video. She had some great
I
costumes.
really like her
Does have
costume. That was
really
just
good
like
costumes.
I love the Rebel one.
that one's great. My favorite of her costumes is probably the I think it's called Throwback. Just kind of like she's wearing like jeans and like a little coat or something.
Oh yeah, that one's good
It's
too.
just a good costume. I have a thing to say about this one. This
we're
boss
actually gonna
is
talk about the level again.
yeah. This boss is the. There's no way to get a good score on this because the only time you can dance is right here. So you just mash the button as much as you can. That's all you can dance. From here on out, your score is set because you can't dance on the pole. See?
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to just play the level. That's it. It's a good level, though.
I know, but I really like it being... I know it's bad for scoring, but I really like it being on the pole.
Yeah, it adds a good element to the sound. Because when you're on the rails, there's like an extra beat in the background.
It adds that sweet early aughts drum and bass.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the Ape Escape soundtrack.
I need to play that game again.
Ape Escape is so good. We're not here to talk about it, but Ape Escape
We're here
is
to
so
talk
good.
about whatever we want. We're watching a dude run
So,
for half an hour.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. How? Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say since you had mentioned since
You got half
you
a
had said Death Piano, the piano that eats. Night of the Living Dummy. Its tagline is like he walks, he stalks. And then the tagline for Night of the Living Dummy 2 is he still walks, he still stalks.
That's really good.
Much as I may not respect them as deep literary works, I love the feel of the Goosebumps books.
Yeah.
They are so like self-aware and trashy with the taglines and stuff.
Yeah.
See you
and
next
hey,
time,
we're done.
and we'll talk about more nonsense that isn't relevant to the game.